In a quiet village surrounded by golden fields and whispering winds lived a young boy named Ayaan. His world was simple: mud houses, narrow paths, and a sky full of dreams far bigger than the fields his family worked on. Even as a child, Ayaan carried a spark in his eyes, a belief that life held more for him than the struggles he saw every day. His father was a farmer who worked tirelessly from dawn till dusk, yet the family barely earned enough to survive. Ayaan often helped him in the fields, wiping sweat from his brow as he watched the sun set behind the hills. Despite the hardships, his father always told him, "Ayaan, life never changes for those who stop trying. Never lose hope." These words stayed with him like a quiet flame. Ayaan loved studying, but school was a long walk from the village. Many children left early, choosing work over education, but Ayaan refused. He believed education was his way out, his path to a better future. Every morning, he carried his worn-out bag and walked miles to school, often on an empty stomach. His clothes were old, but his determination was fresh every single day. One harsh summer, a terrible drought hit the village. The crops dried, the soil cracked open in thirst. Ayaan's family lost almost everything. His father sank into silence. His mother cried quietly at night, and Ayaan felt the weight of helplessness for the first time. One evening, as he sat outside looking at the empty fields, he wondered if hope was just a beautiful lie. The next day, when he told his teacher about leaving school to help his family, the teacher placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Ayaan," he said, "dreams are not for easy days. They are for days like this, when everything feels impossible." That sentence struck something deep within him. Maybe hope was not useless. Maybe it was the only thing he had left. Determined, he divided his day, working in the fields at dawn and studying under the dim lantern light at night. He grew exhausted, but every time he felt like giving up, he remembered his father's words. Slowly, he became one of the brightest students in school. His teachers noticed his passion and recommended him for a scholarship exam in the city. The exam felt like a mountain he had no strength to climb. The city was big, loud, and unfamiliar. He had no proper shoes, no polished uniform, only determination. The room was filled with confident students, and for a moment, fear almost crushed him. But he reminded himself, never lose hope. Weeks passed with no news. Then one warm morning, the postman arrived with a letter, the kind that changes lives. With trembling hands, Ayaan opened it. His eyes widened and filled with tears. He had passed. Not just passed, he had ranked among the highest. The scholarship would pay for his education in one of the best schools in the city. His parents cried with pride. The villagers gathered to congratulate him. For the first time, Ayaan felt like his dreams were not distant stars. They were stepping stones beneath his feet. City life was challenging. He worked part-time in a small shop to cover his living expenses. His classmates came from wealthy families, but he never felt ashamed of who he was. Instead, he studied harder than anyone else. His grit impressed his teachers, and soon, he became known as the boy who never gave up. Years passed. Ayaan completed his education with distinction and earned a scholarship to a prestigious university. His name became a story of hope back in his village. Children who once thought education was useless now wanted to follow in his footsteps. After finishing his degree, Ayaan returned to his village, not as a struggling boy but as an educated young man determined to change lives. He began teaching poor children for free, helping them dream bigger than their circumstances. He also helped his father improve farming techniques, bringing prosperity back to their fields. Ayaan's journey became an inspiration, showing everyone that struggles do not define destiny. Courage does. One evening, as he watched the sun dip behind the same hills he grew up seeing, he whispered to himself, "I never lost hope. That's why I made it." And from that day on, children in the village told each other a simple truth, one that Ayaan's life had proved. No matter how hard life becomes, never lose hope, because hope is the seed from which miracles grow.